What's going on, gangsters, and welcome to the wrestling figure update.
Yeah.
Now it's been a long time, I should say, probably well over a year since I did a wrestling figure update. Recently in my collection update, I just put in like the movie figures and stuff, so I'm going to keep them, with the movies and stuff, but I'm going to do the wrestling figures separate, and for a good reason, because it's wrestling and it's not movies and stuff. But it's been a while, and I've got a few good things. Me and Rhonda went to a Goodwill in Parisburg, Virginia, and I saw this box, and it had tape over it, and it had a bunch of figures in it, and I was like, what? And it had a little price over the top of it, and it said $24.99. So I started shaking it around, and I seen a few, good figures in it, and I was like, well, if there's 50 of them in it, probably it'd be good to be like 50 cents a piece, or hell, even it's 30 or 40. It's not bad price, because it looked like it had a lot of elites in it and stuff. And so I had to pick it up and checked it out, and I only kept 10 of them, and I'm giving the rest of them to my son for basically what I paid for them. I was going to trade him some stuff and see if he had some good classic ones that I wanted to get. And he said didn't have nothing. He'd just rather buy it off of me. So got my money back out of him. And I got 10 free figures out of it. So I'm going to show you what I got. Now, I think every single one of these are Mateo. Mateo took over wrestling figures here some time back. When I was growing up, LJN was ruling for like 84 to 90. And then you had 90 to 94, you had the Hasbro, and then you had Jakks Pacific took over for a while. Them weren't that good. But the Mateo has elites and other classic lines and stuff where they put out a lot of old wrestlers and stuff that's passed on, or classic legends, whatever you want to call them. And they look pretty cool and stuff, and they're really detailed compared to what I had when I was a kid. So the first one in that box that I noticed was the Ultimate Warrior right here. And I think this is an elite figure. Most of them have been like that, I think, for the elites. And they're a lot more detailed. You don't really see the warrior looking like this that much. But you got these boots and all this, his knee pads and all that cool stuff. So he's really detailed out. And so I saw him and I was like, I got to grab this box. The second one I saw in the box when I was shaking it around before I bought it was this one. This is Jake the Snake. I think this is just like one of them basic figures or something. It's got his snake skin boots and stuff. Sadly, he doesn't have the snake, but hey, for 50 cents, might as well, grab it and put it in the collection. Maybe I'll find the snake sometime. I think this is the one, if I'm not mistaken. I think I remember seeing, maybe he came with the Cobra back then at that time. Didn't have the real big python, I don't believe. But Jake the Snake is up there in my top 5 wrestlers of all time. And glad to have that figure. They can get the focus in. Or maybe you can focus on my face. And I saw this one as I was shaking it around. This is a black and white Sting. Like I said, all these are made by Mateo, so they're not too old. Probably within the last 5 or 6 years, or maybe even newer than that. So, yeah, had to grab Sting too. So, double shot of Flair right here. This one he's grinning in, as you can see him. And this one he's just got the serious look on his face. This one, I think both, or yeah, this one is like I think they call them basic figures. Didn't really come with nothing. He's got his red and stuff on. It says the Ric Flair there. And this one, of course, like I said, they bend like this. And he's a little bit more detailed. I think he came in a Four Horsemen box set, I believe, with Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. And I think maybe Barry Windham or Lex Luger. I can't remember which incarnation of the Horseman it was at that time. But it was a box set I think came out like at Target or somewhere, I believe. If I'm wrong, you just let me know. But kind of new to these newer wrestlers. And only ones I really be picking up of these new ones like this are really the classic ones that I grew up with. Maybe a few other ones from like the Attitude Era and stuff. But I also seen the Big Boss Man. Don't have his nightstick or anything. He's an elite figure too. But he was in there too when I was shaking around. So I was like, yeah, big boss man. Only other figures I remember them making of him, I think Hasbro's made them in the 90s. So, and the Attitude Era, I got a few of them too. I got the Rock. Just says, just bring it. And has knee pads and everything. Not the best likeness of the Rock, but you know, he's got some cool stuff to him. And Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now this vest was not his vest because it would say had to have a skull and all that stuff on it or whatever. But it was in the box on somebody else, some newer figure that I didn't even know who it was. So I took the vest off and put it on him. And you know, it's just black and everything, but looks cool because Stone Cold wore a vest and everything. And the last two are the classics that I definitely wanted when I saw the box. And my son, after, you know, I'm giving him the other ones there, he definitely wants this one, but I told him I had to keep this one. This is Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. And yes, he's got his bald spot and everything on there. So these are pretty basic, not too much to them. You can see their legs and everything. Their colors of the boots and all that goodness. But Andre and Hogan, yeah. So yeah, that was all of them that I got out of there. I got a few more today at Welcome Back Collectibles. Now these are Hasbro figurines. If you don't know, Hasbro came out in 1990 to 94, and they were really small at the, you know, back in the day when I got out of collecting them as a kid, you know, LJN, I didn't get the Hasbro. And I wish I did, because some of them are really worth some money now. So back then I would have paid a lot less for freaking motorcycles. Every time I do a damn video, somebody's got to rev up their damn motorcycle and shit goes by. But anyway, yes, the Macho Man. Look how little. Yeah, now these always had like some action stuff to them. They were real hard plastic. He had the, I guess what you want to call the throwdown. I don't know, but yeah. I like this Macho Man, the classic look. There was a few other ones like the King, Macho King, and the one where he wore the hat and all that crazy stuff. But this is the one I really like the most. And I don't know if I'm going to get really back into hardcore collecting. I did collect them 10, 11 years ago when I was collecting. I got up to like 50 or 60 of these things. Actually, I think they had about 110 of them. But I'm just going to get some of my favorite ones maybe, as I say right now. But who knows, I might find a good deal on them and pick up a bunch more. And earlier we was talking about Jake the Snake not having his snake. Well, this one is a Hasbro where he had his snake. And Larry had 2 of these with the snakes. And I had, back in the day when I did collect before, he didn't have the snake. So this one is pretty cool looking. And he's got a hold of it there. And old Damien there. But Jake is one of my favorite wrestlers from that era too. So these two, after working and helping Larry out all day, he threw in with a little bit of money for gas, and I got on my way with 2 classic Hasbro wrestling figures. And that's about it for this update. Got quite a bit, like I said, 10 Mateo figures and 2 Hasbro figures. So if you collect wrestling figures, or you just think they're cool or whatever, leave me a comment at the bottom. Let me know which ones you might collect. If you collect the old Hasbros or LJNs that came out in the 80s, or hell, even the Remco of AWA era, and he's got some of them down there too, so I'll be keeping my eye looking on them things, because I like them AWA ones too. They look like He-Man figures, but that's a whole nother video. Well, that's it for this one. Till next time.